Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Nathaniel and we're going to be taking a look at the trailer for the new Avengers film that just released today. Now I'm a little bit late to it. I'm sure most of you guys have already seen it already, but I'm eager to get stuck into it. Before we do though, I just want to talk a bit about it. I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoyed the last Avengers film. I thought it was fantastic. For the Russo brothers did an amazing job in getting so many characters from these previous films with all with their individual flavors and identities, you know, being able to get them all together and still maintain what makes them them, and weave a coherent story that allowed every character the opportunity to shine and to develop, and to be affected by, you know, the circumstances and the events that occurred in the film. Weave a narrative that was not just coherent, but that was compelling. It's just really well written. It was just a great film to watch. And on top of that, they chucked in a villain who, you just wanted to get invested in. They took enough time to explore him, you know what I mean, and to really get you kind of connected with the character. And as crazy as his mission was, you couldn't help but kind of see or understand, you know, where he was coming from. I mean, I'm not saying that I agree with Thanos, but by the time the film was done, I could understand why he believed so much in what he believed in, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? And, you know, he was like, well, you know, you guys are running out of resources. There's a solution. Let's get rid of half the population. I mean, that's just crazy. But at the same time, there's a certain logic to it as well. And that's the scary thing about Thanos. But that's what usually makes the best villains. It's where they are convinced that they are right, and where there is some kind of twisted logic to how they think and the mission that they want to accomplish. But anyway, I think that Avengers Infinity War was just a fantastic film, and I know that it probably wasn't to everyone's taste. I know some people are like, oh, well, yeah, okay, the villain won. It's not the way superhero films are supposed to be because the villain won. And I'm like, you know, some of the best films are where the villain kind of wins. I mean, look at The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is one of those films where you leave that and you're like, man, I feel depressed, but I feel awesome at the same time, you know, because like it's just one of those endings that just hits you. It's that note, and it gets you that those feelings of just the oppression of that film. But at the same time, it's so masterfully done and it's so purposefully done that you can't help but feel like awesome at the same time as feeling depressed. And I think it was the same thing with Infinity War, where, you know, it was just one of those films where the bad guy won and like half of the universe got eradicated. And that's pretty crazy. That's some high stakes. And you can't help but leave that film thinking, man, that sucks. But at the same time, you're like, this is awesome. I think the fact that we know as well that it's the first part, it was the first part of a two-part, you know, thing, kind of made the difference. And I think that probably escaped some people. But I really believe that Infinity War ended in the only way it could. And it ended in a good way. But anyway, look, I'm chatting too much, man. You guys have seen this trailer already and I ain't seen it. So I just want to get stuck in. So I'm going to start chomping down. Let's go. I am a Tillman. He's stranded in space. Makes sense.
Stay on.
God, the lighting. Amazing.
Hey, Miss Buns. If you find this recording, don't feel bad about this. Part of the journey is the
beautiful show. Well, where's Nebula?
Being adrift in space with zero promise of rescue is more fun than it sounds. Food and water ran out 4 days ago. Oxygen will run out tomorrow morning.
Jeez.
That'll be it. When I drift off, I will dream about you.
Yeah.
It's always you.
Man, what a great start to a trailer. And it makes perfect sense. Oh, the snap. That's great effect. That dust effect, man. So, look at him. He's got his garbs, hanging up his garbs like his job is done. Yeah,
he's exactly what he said he was going to do.
He did it, he won, man.
He wiped out 50% of all living creatures.
Scotland's not dead, man.
We lost. All of us.
Nebula. Yeah, she's got to be
friends. We lost family.
Ronin!
We lost a part of ourselves.
Yeah, he's going to the darkness, man. You can tell.
This is the fight of our lives.
Peggy.
This is gonna work, Steve.
It's a nice
I know
touch.
it is. Because I don't know what I'm going to do if it doesn't.
What an end. Oh.
Hi, is anyone home? This is Scott Lang. We met a few years ago at the airport in Germany. Got down really big.
Is this an old message?
It's not.
Ant-Man, I know you know that.
It's the front door.
That's me.
He's a
You
joker.
buzz me in?
Yeah. So wait, what? Okay, let me stop this thing real quick. Okay, so, but first of all, I loved it. That was absolutely fantastic. Endgame. It was such a great name, and it makes sense. I mean, you know, not to Stephen Strange, Doctor Strange. I mean, he said that. He said we're in the Endgame now, and so it makes perfect sense. Didn't somebody somewhere say that they already gave away the title of the film? I think somebody said that. One of those guys involved in it. I'm not sure who, but I mean that makes perfect sense, and it's a great name for it. It's straightforward. It's like it is the Endgame, and that trailer was just. And it didn't have any kind of action in it, yet it just did everything you needed it to do. Absolutely brilliant. That's masterful trailer making. The beginning of it was just great. You know what I mean? You know, I think after the snap, because, you know, Tony Stark failed and, you know, Thanos got away, you know, thanks to Star-Lord. But he got away, murked up some people down on Earth, you know, and then Thor started started feeling himself a bit and brought it down to Thanos, but you know he went for the wrong limb, went for the wrong part of the body. Thanos got that snap off, and that was it. It was done. So Thanos was hanging up his garbs, and he's like, "Yeah, man, no, it's a good day's work, man. Long, good day, hard day's work. He's done." He's like, "Let me just go and start smelling the flowers, man. Start feeling them." He's all chilling out now, feels satisfied, and there's Tony Stark on the other hand, stranded in space, depressed. Just thinking, man, I screwed up. And it's what a great way to start the trailer. Just all the gravity from the first film and from its conclusion is encapsulated in those beginning seconds, and you just like his helmet's just in pieces and he's in pieces. Nebula's no doubt on that ship. She's got to be with him because they were both on Titan. I believe that's the name of the planet. They were both on that place, so I'm sure she's up there with him, but who knows? Maybe they're gonna bump into Captain Marvel because before Nick Fury got snapped, he sent off that pager right to Captain Marvel, and we know from the Captain Marvel trailer that released a couple of days ago that she's been augmented, right? So she's got longevity and you know what I mean, stuff that you know she's. So I mean that's probably the reason why she looks as young as she did back then in the present. It's not any kind of time traveling or anything. It's just the fact that she's been augmented, and I'm just wondering if they did that before she got the powers or after she's got the powers, or I'm wondering if whether or not they did that at all and they just made her believe that they did that in order to control her, because in the comics she got her powers from this machine that exploded and it kind of spliced her DNA with the original Captain Marvel's DNA and with Marvel, who's a Kree. But anyway, that's besides the point. So maybe Stark and Nebula are gonna bump into Marvel in space while she's en route to find out what the heck's going on. Maybe she helps them. There's some characters in there that I want to talk about real quick. Ronin. They didn't even give us all of Ronin, which I like. They just gave us that one shot from behind. I mean, we know that Hawkeye's gonna turn into Ronin, but there's no doubt now that his family got snapped. Yeah, they're dust, and he's kind of embracing the darkness now. Hawkeye's one of those characters where, you know, a lot of people, you know, you're not quite sure. A lot of people say he's enhanced, and some people say he's not. And I'm not sure where Marvel's official standing is on that. I think he's enhanced because that dude does not miss. I mean, and he's shooting things like I don't know how far away, and he's always hitting it spot on. He's like bullseye. And I mean, not only that, but you know, when he becomes Ronin, he's like one of those guys where any weapon he picks up, he masters it. So I feel like he's always holding back, even in Civil War when he's tussling with Black Panther. He was holding back. I mean, Black Panther had an objective, so he was going in. I got to take this guy down so I can get Bucky and blah blah blah, right? But Hawkeye was like, I don't really want to hurt this dude. You know what I mean? He was holding back, and I don't know who would win in a fight between the two, because Black Panther's obviously got his enhanced kind of attributes because of the herb that he takes, and he's got the suit, the vibranium suit. So, but I would love to see a rematch between Ronin Hawkeye in the Ronin costume, and Black Panther, just because I love those two costumes. I think they're awesome, and I love to see them go at it again. But anyway, Ronin, hugely excited to see him in the film, and I'm wondering, where his plot is going to take him in the film, because Hawkeye wasn't in the first. It wasn't in Infinity War. He wasn't. So no doubt the Russos are gonna pay him off for that and gonna give him something meaty. So he's gonna play a very pivotal role in this film. I am absolutely sure. Another character, obviously they don't show, is Captain Marvel, for obvious reasons. I think her film's coming out, so I'm pretty sure that they're gonna show maybe the third and final, or the second and final trailer for Endgame. In the Captain Marvel movie trailer set, they're gonna show that. And then they're probably going to debut her and show scenes with her. They're probably holding back because, they don't want to steal thunder. You know what I mean? And we've got enough exposure to Captain Marvel already with these trailers for her own film. So I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be the course that they take. The other character that they didn't show was Hulk. They did show Banner, but they didn't show Hulk. And as many of you guys probably know, this film is going to mark the third film in a 3-story arc that they've been trying to tell for Tony Stark. It began in Thor Ragnarok, continued in Infinity War, and it's going to end in Endgame. And it's gonna be interesting to see how Bruce Banner and Hulk reconcile with each other, and how they kind of meet in the middle and come to this kind of compromise, and what that enables a character to do. I think once they've reached that stage, the Hulk's going to be able to tap into power like he's never tapped into before, and we're going to see true Hulk, that kind of like true rage, true power. In the comics, Hulk had an unlimited power supply. The madder he got, the stronger he got. And in the first Avengers film, I remember quite clearly where Bruce Banner was saying that he'd learned to control his anger. He's always angry. I think that once the two combine, I think we're going to see a major display from Hulk, and we should be better. I want to see him just go to town. But yeah, that trailer, man. I mean, Captain America's just in pieces. You know what I mean? His dude's crying, and it's funny because I didn't care about Captain America before these movies started. He was, it was kind of like an alright character, but in the comics, but these movies, man, they really developed his character so well, and he's one of my boys now. He's got the best superhero trilogy ever, as far as I'm concerned, and him and Black Widow, I don't know. I mean, they're trying to figure things out. Ant-Man, they think Ant-Man's dead. We all know Ant-Man's not dead. He was stuck in the quantum realm. So it was nice to see that little clip at the end where Ant-Man's kind of like knocking at the front door, and Steve Rogers is like, oh, is that a video from before or something? Is that from the past? And he's like, no, he's in front of our front door right now. He's outside. So clearly he escapes from the quantum realm back into the present. He doesn't go escape from the quantum realm into another time like some people have speculated, but he's probably going to help provide them with the means to time travel, because I'm pretty sure time travel is going to play a part in this film. And from what I've heard, this film's going to be longer than Infinity War, and I'm all up for that, man. But this is the last one. I'm like, make it a 3-hour film. I don't care. I'm going to just soak it up, man. This trailer was it's just a great trailer. I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm confident that this film, they got the tone spot on. This film's going to be a dark film. I got no doubt about it. Infinity War was dark, and I liked it for that. And this film's going to be a dark film. In the end, the light's going to prevail. I've got no doubt. But it's not going to be without consequence. There's going to be, for great reward, there must always be great sacrifice. And, I think that is going to ring true in this film. We're going to lose some people. A lot of these actors, their contracts are up. A lot of the mainstays. So, we're going to see where this is going to turn out. And, I'm so excited for this film. It's going to be so good. And it's going to make bank. I think this film is going to just destroy it. The box office is just going to be in pieces. Rightly so. I mean, if anybody deserves that money, it's these guys, this film. What Marvel have done, Kevin Feige and the rest of his team and the Russo brothers, it's just nothing short of a minor miracle. It's just, they've told a story over 10 years, man. And now it's coming to its climax. It's at the apex. It's just what they've done is just unheard of. And it's just amazing, and I really hope that everything pays off for them in this last film. But anyway, listen, I've talked enough. I better just sign off. But thank you guys for listening. You've heard a lot about what I think and what's going on in my mind, but I want to hear what's going on in your mind. So please leave that stuff in the comments below. Now, as I mentioned in my other video, my first video that I've done, just be constructive, but please be kind and be considerate, and just don't go off on this. Well, sometimes people can go off on this kind of mean trip and say stuff, maybe because they think they're anonymous online. I don't know, but let's not have that here. Let's have a conversation that everyone can be involved in and everyone can enjoy. And I'd just like to know what you think, and if I've missed anything, fill me in. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now and fade out. This is Nathaniel signing off. Thanks.